the new casinos that are opening up in this area.
Yes.
This has actually been a long time coming, and is anybody nervous? Because from what I could tell, they're all gung-ho, they're opening these casinos, all this stuff. Does anybody think that the timing is a little bad?
Well, yeah, a lot of these the timing when a lot of these projects broke ground.
It was the heyday.
Exactly.
It was awesome.
So, are a lot of these developers and these operators facing a ton of uncertainty right now in terms of the fact that they have a lot of new supply coming in, not only in table games, but slots and also hotel rooms. And so, absolutely, lots of uncertainty. But a lot of people right now who are more bullish in terms of the near-term prospects. They think, for example, February, I was talking about the 22 months of declines. A lot of the, most of them have been double-digit for the past year and a half. But February was a bright spot. It was a year-over-year decline was only about 10 basis points.
Oh, so that's like a fraction of, yeah.
And they happen to get a lot more traffic because of the Chinese New Year. And so people saw that as a really positive sign. A lot of the stocks have done well since the beginning of February as a result because, these gaming companies had seen their shares trade down 75%.
Yeah, whenever you mention basically gaming in Southeast Asia, you pretty much always come across that Melco Crown Resorts. And they're in, correct me if I'm wrong, they're in Singapore too, right?
No, they are in Macau and in Philippines.
Oh, in the Philippines, I'm sorry. That's actually what I was thinking. Anyway. But they own 60% of that new one that's opening up in Macau, the Studio City place.
So Studio City opened its doors in last October.
Okay.
Huge event. They even spent, I think it was like $70 million on a short film with Scorsese, De Niro, DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt. It was like a 17-minute.
Was it an Ocean's 11 ripoff or something?
It was just a marketing film about the opening of the resort, and so
I kind of need to see this.
The resort looks incredible. It was a $3.2 billion project from the company, and keep in mind that Melco Crown, their stock's down about 56% since that downturn began in June 2014. So Studio City has 1,600 guest rooms between its two separate towers, and here is where we're kind of seeing how the strategic focus of these companies is shifting to accommodate the fact that a lot of their VIP customers are no longer making it. They're no longer dropping as much cash on the tables. So, for example, you have one tower of the hotel is Celebrity Tower, meets more so like a broad swath of customers, and then they have the Star Tower, which is these bigger suites, much more so for the luxury clientele. Again, so they're kind of splitting that in order to accommodate both ends of the market, so to speak. And then another fact is, right now they only have 250 gaming tables and about 1,200 slot machines, which is not that much compared to their other properties.
So this is kind of where China seems to want Macau to go, and that's definitely where it's going, which is having more entertainment, more family-friendly stuff, all that.
Absolutely. So, Beijing has basically signaled to Macau and said that we want you to diversify your economy, and we want you to change, however you market yourself, but we want more family-friendly entertainment. And I think Studio City is a really, being the newest opening, I'm pretty sure, in the area, is a really good example of that, because you have, for example, their Golden Reel, figure 8 Ferris wheel, highest in the world at 130 meters.
What's a figure 8 Ferris? Anyway,
you gotta look at the pictures and you'll see it. It's incredible.
I'm gonna Google.
And also, there's they have a House of Magic. It's 3 separate theaters with magic shows running 7 days a week. They have a Batman Dark Flight ride, which you would absolutely love.
I would totally love to do that. That's awesome.
It's it's like an interactive amusement ride. Essentially, they have their Pasha Macau nightclub. They have a huge event center with 5,000 seat capacity for concerts, theaters, sports, award ceremonies. They have a 40,000 square foot arcade and playground for kids, which I'm probably sure I would love to.
Oh, it's like part of the center of the building. I'm looking at the
exactly
Ferris wheel. Yeah.
And a big thing is they're going to have this thing called the Boulevard. It's supposed to kind of recreate New York street shopping, but in an indoor setting. 377,000 square feet when it's finished. Right now, they're kind of still building that out as retailers move into the space.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, only 250 gaming tables, 1,200 slot machines, not that much compared to some of the other properties in Macau. And so all those other things that I mentioned is this shift in terms of where hopefully their revenue is going to be coming from the resort. But, when I say that, I don't want listeners to believe that it's like an even split. Still, the bulk of every one of these businesses, their revenue is coming from the casino.
Got it. Okay.
So,
now, this is the one I'm interested to get your thoughts because I knew the most about the City of Dreams, which opened in 2009.
yes.
That's not terribly big, but it was just that was started right before the stuff happened, so they've been doing well. But did you get a read on how they're performing lately?
Yeah, sure. So, they announced their fourth quarter results, and at least for net revenue was about $669 million. Unsurprisingly, it's down year over year, about 25%. So non-gaming revenue made up about 10% of that number. So you can see how much it's still focused on the casino. But that's up from 8% in the year ago quarter. And the thing is, Studio City, though, is a very different picture where non-gaming revenue was about $37.8 million of total 123.2. So it's about 30% is non-gaming.
Whereas
so
City of Dreams was built for the rich millionaire that comes in there to...
Yeah, not only was it built more so focused on the gaming side, but on the VIP clientele as well. Yeah. So Studio City, that 30% split coming from non-gaming gives you an inclination of...
It's a big divergence for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And... though the Studio City was only open for about 2 full months in that quarter, the resort generated about $123 million, adjusted EBITDA of $12.6 million. And those numbers will certainly go up as the resort ramps up its operations.